Hi, I'm Steve Halfpenny from Light Hands Equitation, and I'd like to talk a little bit about, do I do more with my legs or my reins? Because that seems to be one of those things that I get asked a lot. And it's quite a confusing answer, really, because most people say, do you do more with your legs than your reins? And I go, no, I do more with my reins. So it's okay. So you do a lot with your reins? I said, no, I do very little with my reins. And if the horse doesn't listen, I do more with my legs to get him to listen to my reins. But one of the things that a guy told me a long time ago is that a good friend of mine he was watching me riding, and I was using an awful lot of leg. And he said, doesn't your horse follow a feel? So I should be able to pick up the reins and just pick up more feel and move my horse's feet. That's just feel. I could use no reins and use my body and my legs to move him. So there's two different things going on there. One is no legs and just feel. The other is energy, legs, intent. Come on, don't go forward. So that's more of a signal from my body. I'm going to mix those two together. So if he was a very young horse, he wouldn't understand so much about following the posture changes, and I would have to literally guide his feet. So as they left the ground, it would be all reins, but I'm already using my body in the way that I'm going to use it later. I've got my weight on the inside and a twist, but to fix it up, I'd be generally using my reins more. As he gets further along, I'd expect to do a lot less with my reins and a lot more with my body. So then my reins would be more for, if I could get him in a position where they're more for getting him a little vertically collected. And then when I turn my body, this even seems to amplify that collection. Bit of outside leg to bring him around towards the camera. Change that, just change my posture. He's starting to come to the right. I have let the outside rein slide through my fingers a little just so I could help him with that. But you would say right now I probably would be riding way more with my body than my hands because they're sort of fairly fixed. And then as I pick up a job to do, like if I have a garrocha or something else, I really can't be moving my hands all over the place anyway, because this hand is going to be pretty well over his wither. I'm going to let this slide, shift my body over to the left. So I'd like to have my hands really to tell him where to stay vertically. There, you see he started to stick his nose out because you see people moving out there. Keep his attention. And then what I really noticed, we worked some cattle the other day and I got really focused on roping. When I look at the videos afterwards, I'd let him string out too much. So I need to keep focused on doing enough with the reins to keep him where I need him without sort of having any weight on my hands. So my legs, if I'm coming around to the right, my outside leg is going to get a little busier to push him around. I'd like him to just come off my reins. See now there's no leg on him, that's just rein. That leg's off him, I could turn him without the leg on. But it works better with both together where I can really flow him through there. So it's a combination. The other thing to remember about using your legs, to have more meaning, there has to be a release. So if I push that leg and release and push his hind and release, it's not a constant pressure. That's just going to make him dull. If I put a leg on the horse and hold it on there the whole time, it's going to get dull. Same with my reins. If I just let him lean on these things, so it doesn't look like there's much happening, but there's little, I'll get a little closer, there's little turns, like I might just touch the rein with that finger. Might do a lot more if he takes it off there, but just little touches. So he hasn't got a steady feel that he can just balance on. It's just always a little message going to him to stay soft. A little message going to that right hind from my seat, and if that doesn't work, from my leg. And of course, if it doesn't work, all the way down to my heel. And then if he really wasn't listening, I could maybe have my spurs on, but he doesn't really need those anymore. But posture without legs, without any reins at all, is a lot harder. That would be a fairly advanced horse where you could just keep your hand perfectly still. I'd like to have him following a feel. So if I change the feel a little more, then he can hurry to come off of that field more. So I could back him up faster just with changing the feel. So following a feel it's probably my number one thing. Like, fairly critical that if I put a feel on him, that he puts effort into getting off it. He's a lot like my other horse, you know, when I do a fair bit of that putting his head out is going, he sort of needs a release mentally, so it's not so physically hard for some horses to be held in a position like that, but for him it's mentally hard for him to stay in that position. That's why he sort of tells me he couldn't let him go for a little while. But it's time to increase that and build on that. So that's my thoughts on feel, legs, posture. You back up your feel with your legs, but it's all feel. While I'm around horses, watching what's available to me, and it became obvious a long time ago that people are not really aware of what's available to them in the horse they already own. And we all have that, if only we had a great horse, then we could have a good time with them. But every horse has the potential to do some amazing things. And I see my job as helping people understand how to unlock that potential in their horses.